50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 523. Today is Thursday, May 8th, 2025. And Elvis, we got a new pope. First American pope, kid. Gotta love it.
Yeah, definitely witnessed some not just second round NBA history, real history we was able to witness today. So I'm glad we got a new pope, but still, this second round has been something. Let's just say that. It's been something.
Yeah, it's been really good so far. The NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs have been really good as well. We'll take a look at both of that. Got some NFL news as well. We'll talk about that. And then we're loaded with picks today. The weekend episodes are full with picks, NBA, NHL. We got a short MLB card as well, and UFL Week 7. By the way, they announced the championship is going to be in St. Louis about 2 weeks ago. What the fuck is that?
Is it going to be like a special event? Or is it going to be like at, let's just say, the Battlehawks field? Are they going to play like maybe... I'm trying to wonder where they're going to play.
If they play where the St. Louis Battlehawks play, my thing is I don't understand why. Last time I checked, doesn't St. Louis have the number one murder capital in the world? Why wouldn't you put it in somewhere good? No, I think it's Missouri. I think it's actually Missouri, not Chicago. But
there's no way it's Missouri. Over Illinois?
Yeah. I'm telling you, Missouri's like that.
No, I believe it. Trust me. I've been around.
That Midwest, they got nothing else to do. So I don't know. I just think it's awful, but we'll get into all that. But kid, how can I come into this episode and not smile? Orange and blue skies, baby. I had you. I had Scott. I had everybody. All ESPN, all Fox Sports.
I think even yourself a little.
I never thought that. I always thought that next, baby. I mean, game one, cool. We snuck out of there, came back 20-point lead. Cool. Mikal Bridges stole it. Overtime, cool. Game two, I'm sitting there on the bed. We were down 20 midway through the third. I'm sitting here. I'm like, yo, babe, turn the game off. Like it's a dub. Like we're getting smoked. And hand up, I'll admit, I never thought Celtics would shoot that poorly 2 games in a row.
Yeah,
but
yeah. One game, yeah.
Yeah.
2 at home, 2 games in a row like that. That's surprising.
Yeah. And it is a make or miss league. But kid, after we closed the third quarter on like a 8 or like 11-4 run, I was like, okay, we're down 14. Maybe we'll have a little magic in us. And then we just locked up, and they couldn't buy a shot for the last 6.5 minutes outside of that last dunk by Tatum. I think the biggest difference now, you let me know the biggest difference in both of these games. You're the NBA guy. I just watch the Knicks, and sometimes I watch key games, and I obviously watch the finals. High percentage shots. What kind of shots do the Knicks take as opposed to the Celtics? Now, obviously, if they make 7 more of those, the game's over. They probably cover. But like I said, it's a make or miss league. And if you live by the 3, you are going to die by the 3. And the Knicks just take high-level shots. And I think that is a big key as to why they won.
Yes, definitely. Games 1 and 2 definitely won on the inside. But I think this is mostly just going down on the Celtics' shoulders. Like you said, they're living and dying by the 3. And right now they're dying by the 3 because let's just be honest. Dylan, I think you will easily admit this. Instead of settling like the Celtics were majority of the fourth quarter, if they were just attacking the rim, drawing fouls, this game would have been over with 4 to 5 minutes left. But the fact that they keep settling into these bad shots. You know how many times we saw the Celtics? Pretty sure it was in the second quarter. We saw a sequence where Jaylen Brown ended up hitting the three. It was a fast break. Peyton Pritchard pulled up from the 3-on-1 or 2, missed the 3. Got on. Al Horford got an offensive rebound. Somebody else shot the. Drew Holiday shot the 3, missed.
Yeah,
and
I
then
remember that.
a tip. Somebody else got their offensive round. Then kick it to Jaylen Brown. He was able to make it. There's no reason why there's a fast break in the first shot.
Is
Not
a
just
three.
the Celtics. We're seeing the transition in the league where we're seeing. We even saw it with Fred VanVleet with the Rockets multiple times, where you have an advantage on a fast break and you're pulling up for a 3. I'm not saying it's the worst shot in the world, but all I'm saying is if you're on a fast break, I don't understand why this new age of the NBA they're pulling up from the 3-point line when they have a 3-on-1 advantage.
Analytics.
I understand that, but I think that play sums it up why the Boston Celtics lost. They missed the shot and they got 2 offensive rebounds, and every single shot after the offensive rebound was a 3-point attempt. They're gonna live and die by the 3. And as a Knicks fan, you gotta love that they're dying by the 3. Hopefully their game plan switches up moving forward.
It won't. It won't.
I think it has to. And for history tells you, especially these last couple of seasons, the Boston Celtics are a much better playoff road team than they are at home. For some reason, they are a better road team. So series is not over by any ways, but I think you hit the nail in the coffin when you say they live and die by the 3.
Yeah, the Knicks, crazy stat, are the only NBA team in the last 25 years to trail by 20-plus points in back-to-back games, both on the road, and come back to win both regular season and in the playoffs. I mean, they just don't quit. They really just don't quit. Mikal Bridges,
I'll be honest right now, real quick. Sorry to cut you.
No,
I'm on record. I think you even was, we traded away too much for him. A lot of Knicks fans felt this way until game 1. Yeah. Now, after game 2, I think every Knicks fan out there will all agree he's worth it.
He's worth 87 picks at this fucking point.
So I just want to put that to rest.
Yeah.
As of right now, he was well worth it. And we've seen it games 1 and 2. He was the X factor.
100%. And he was a no-show yesterday up until the fourth quarter where he had all of his points, 14 points. But he's the only NBA player in the last 20 years to have a steal or a block in the final 5 seconds in a one-possession game, 2 games in a row in the regular season and in the playoffs. He's worth everything now. Yeah, you could make an argument that, hey, maybe he wasn't really living up to all the picks that we gave up. He's living up to it all the time. Cat dominated the boards last night. Cat dominated. And I think that's the X factor. They don't have a guy like Cat. They are a little banged up down low. And you correct me if I'm wrong, but watching the game, the Celtics don't look like the same team with Porzingis on the floor than when he's not.
Yeah, Porzingis is a major key. We even saw it in last year's final. What game was it? I think it was 1 or 2 where he had what?
7? I think it was like the first or second game.
Yeah, he just went off, after being injured for a month. So I think Porzingis is a major X factor. Former Knick, I know that probably plays a little bit on it. If he's able to play more moving forward, Monday we saw, I think he had 13 minutes. Yesterday, didn't play. Is he going to be able to play moving forward? I don't even know how serious is the injury. If it's just because of the face?
No, I thought it was his ankle. Thought he rolled his ankle, yeah.
So if let's just say if he's not going to be there for the remainder of the series, not sure if that's been ruled yet. It's going to be an issue. Oh no, he played 14 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
He needs more playing time, Dill. We saw it even last year in the playoffs when he's getting high minutes and he's effective, shooting that mid-range, getting rebounds. That's when the Boston Celtics are at their very best. So I think we're going to need to see Porzingis more, maybe even start in game 3. And I think they need him, especially on the boards. Because like you said, I think Cat had 17 rebounds game 2. I think he had 13 or 14 in game 1. Trust me, that's going to win you games. So Mitchell Robinson played big off the bench as well. I hate the fact that they hack him.
That's weird behavior.
Not for nothing. I think it was like 4 or 3 minutes left, and they had 2 team fouls. They hacked them 2 times in order to get to 14 fouls, and then the Knicks subbed them out. I don't know why you would just stab yourself in the foot. That was poor coaching by Joe Mazzulla.
We like Joe Mazzulla too.
Yeah, yeah. That was, to me, that was one of the biggest flaws of game two, was having two teams fouled and intentionally fouling Robinson to get to 14 fouls, and then they subbed them out. Like, what was the point of picking up two team fouls within 5 seconds? It's their 3.5 minutes left in the game. Now the Knicks are in the bonus. Like, to me, that was just poor execution right there.
I appreciate the refs letting them bang a little bit. It's a little too physical, but if Adam Silver is watching this, hey, it sells. More people are watching the NBA playoffs because of how physical it is. We saw how physical the four nations were in NHL. Obviously, completely different sport, but if you want viewership, people like the physicality, and they're letting it go a little too much. But I appreciate the consistency on both sides.
Yeah, to be honest, I love the physical play. I wish every game was more like this. More of an old school battle. Not for nothing. I'm not gonna say it's a rivalry here, but
it could brew up a
Yeah,
rivalry, and I think
yeah.
that would be good for the NBA.
Yeah, so I just hope every game moving forward is coached the same, because coach, ref the same, because some games we see the whistles barely blowing, and some games it's too much. So I just hope that they find a consistent level and take the take from this game, because bro, we loved it. And look at the low scoring game though. It was like
Love it.
2008 again, Lakers versus Celtics. So to me, great game. I hope the refs keep it this way, but all we can ask for is consistent.
Last thing on what you mentioned earlier that I just popped back into my mind. Jaylen Brown is too good, and Jason Tatum, to not drive the ball. I don't understand them not driving, because in the beginning of the game, they had a lot of success in game two, in the first quarter, of driving, getting a foul, and one. And then they just completely went away from it again.
And not for nothing, we even saw that in game one. Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble early on. That's why he didn't get the major scoring output he usually has, but he was still impactful with the rebounds. To me, that's the gameplay you need to have moving forward. Drive the ball, get the bigs in foul trouble, because those bigs is hurting. You take away those 13, 17 rebounds of Karl Anthony Towns, that's a major difference in the outcome when both games came down to single possession. So I think the Celtics, like you said, Jaylen Brown especially, because we know what he's capable of doing. Finals MVP last year. Jason Tatum, he was getting roasted on social media today. You're 6'10", highly athletic. There's no reason why you're just stepping back and pulling 3-point shots majority of the time. You got to drive the ball. You got to have that little bit Mamba mentality and get to the rim. So I think they'll be fine. Like I said, series is not over yet. My thing is, are they going to keep living and dying by the three? Or are they going to drive the ball, put their head down, draw the and one?
So right now the series, Celtics for the series, -112, -108.
Money came in.
Yeah.
Because this morning, Knicks was -115. Boston was -105 or +105.
Are you taking the Celtics? What do you have them in now? Because I know you're still on the Celtics.
I'm not going to say I'm still on the Celtics, but one thing I can honestly say, and I think any basketball fan that watches the sport will agree, Celtics have been, throughout these last playoffs, a much better team on the road than at home. For some or whatever reason, they have been. So I wouldn't be shocked if, let's just say, the next two games, Celtics win the next two games in the Garden. I wouldn't be surprised if Knicks able to squeeze one out, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Celtics play better on the road than they have at home.
I'll end it with this. Yes, Celtics probably have the better team on paper.
Oh, yeah, on paper, yeah.
But they're not playing like it. And at the end of the day, they don't have a clutch player like Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's been the best player on the floor both games. And that's just the fact.
I agree with that. But I have one clutch player in mind who I know could hurt you. He just haven't yet. And that guy is Derek White. Derek White is due for a big game. They're a nice 30 pieces loading. I just don't know when it's coming. I don't know if it's game 3, game 4, possibly game 5. Who knows? But we know Derek White is due for a huge game in this soon. Like you said, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum need to step it up. That game 2 was awful. I think they were combined 13 for 45 or so. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but they shot poorly combined from the field and 3-point line.
One take that's not aging well is the most overrated player in the NBA. And frankly, he might be the most underrated player in the NBA right now. I mean, there were multiple plays in the first series. He was isolating Giannis one-on-one. And for him to hit the dagger in game 2 to go up 2-0 and take both of them on the road.
Quick. Yeah. I want people to stop saying dagger in game 2. That's a game winner. His shot wasn't to solidify the ending of the game. His shot was to put his team on top. His team was losing before that shot went in. So that was a game-winning shot, not a dagger. Not towards you, Dylan. I'm talking about for anybody. Because when I got the notification on my phone after watching the game, it said Halliburton's dagger puts Indy up 2-0. That's not a dagger. When Steph hits a 3 to put him up 8 with 38 seconds left, that's a dagger.
Would you categorize
left and that's a game winning? That's a game winning shot.
Would you categorize Jalen Brunson's free throws at the end as daggers to put him up?
No, you're just closing the game.
A
dagger is hitting a shot where the game is out of reach with the time remaining. Like I said,
I get
about 8 points, 30 seconds left. You hit you go up 8 with 30 seconds left. The game is practically over.
Yeah,
that's a dagger. It stabbed you in the heart. You're not dead, but you're stabbed. That's a dagger.
I do think the Cavs are dead, though. I mean, the injuries hurt. They're not the same without Garland right now. And Mobley didn't wind up playing either in game 2. And Donovan Mitchell just couldn't do it by himself. Max Strus, he had a pretty good game 23, and Jared Allen was able to do everything he could. But they're thin. When you don't have Darius Garland, when you don't have Evan Mobley, he has a sprained ankle. DeAndre Hunter, the guy they traded for, he's out with a sprained thumb. Everyone is hurt. And hand up, I was wrong. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton has been a very, very good player this postseason, not just in the first round, in the second round as well against the number 1 seed in the Cleveland Cavaliers. Great game by Aaron Nesmith as well. He had 23. Miles Turner had 23 as well. If they get to the finals, they have to reinstate his father, right?
I did not think he was gonna end it with that. Yeah.
Right?
Like I said, in the booth.
Yeah, away from the court.
Yeah, in the booth,
because what he did was wrong.
Yeah, what he did was wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Do I think, should he not attend a game ever again? No, absolutely not. But
that's crazy. Yeah.
You gotta, let it be known. Hey, at the end of the day, they gotta make an example.
Yeah.
So no other father, cousin, brother steps that line. Yeah, you could talk shit. You could do that. You could get on the floor, but don't go up to an opposing opposing player from another team and start talking crazy. That's out the.
No, that's wild.
That's out of line. That's wild. Back to the game. First of all, I want to give Dylan credit for putting some respect on Halliburton's name to be short.
Man of my word.
Put some respect on Halliburton's name, Dylan. I've been telling you, I'm not a Pacers or Halliburton advocate, but all I'm saying is the potential is there to win the East. From they're deep, but that 8, even with Toppin coming off the bench, he could give you something. Matherin, TJ McConnell, with that starting 5, though, any night, Miles Turner could give you 30. Halliburton.
Benedict had 19 off the bench.
Yeah, Benedict had 19 off the bench. Pascal Siakam, been there, done that. He could give you 30 any given night. I'm not saying these guys are going to give you 30 on a consistent basis. All I'm saying is anybody in that starting lineup can have a hot night. Not every night. You need Pascal. You need Tyrese Halliburton to give you 25 and 10. You don't need that every night. Pascal just gave you 12 points on game 2. You're able to win it. I guarantee Pascal gives you more than 15, 18 points for game 3 at home. So the fact that you're able to win games 1 and 2 and Tyrese Halliburton ain't your leading scorer, that speaks volumes. You get 23 from Miles Turner, 23 from Nesmith, and like you said, you got 19 from Matherin. they're just so deep. And let's not forget, people, put some respect on Rick Carlisle's name. He's been there and has done that. He took down, you can make the case, the big three, first year, Mavs versus Heat. So we know he's been there and done that, and he could upset somebody. Even though he's a heavy dog, he could pull it off, though. So I'm not surprised of what I'm seeing. Yes, if Cleveland Cavaliers are fully healthy, I don't expect it to be 2-0. But am I shocked that, with the circumstances we in, that the Pacers are up 2-0?
No.
Absolutely not.
And Rick
like
and
I
Rick
said,
Carlisle,
real quick, they have a shot, in my opinion, to represent the Eastern Conference.
yeah, no, I would agree, and they're very deep. And Rick Carlisle, when it comes to the playoffs, you usually see teams play 7-8 guys, if that. They're giving guys top in 16 minutes, TJ 14, Thomas Bryant 11. They gave Benedict, because he was hot, they gave him 20 minutes. Ben Shepherd 6 points. Like, they're giving guys minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't see that. So shout out Rick Carlisle. And I think the reason, because I don't. And
let's not forget, people, Pacers was down 20 early on in this game.
Yeah, they came back. And I don't think he's the most underrated player. I just think the reason everyone voted...
No, it's overrated.
Overrated, excuse me. I think the reason the players or coaches, whoever voted, he's kind of cringy. Whenever guys smile too much, or they play with this quote unquote swag or aura, it rubs people the wrong way. I don't think he's overrated at all. I think he's actually a really good basketball player. All bias aside, I think he is a good basketball player, and he's showing us why. Mm-hmm. But I think he is a little cringe. I think two things could be true. He could be a good basketball player, but he could also be a little cringe.
I'm not going to use the word cringe, but I understand where you're coming from. I feel you a little bit, though. Is Tyrese Haliburton a very talented player? Yes. Could he be the face of a league? I don't think so. Yeah. So, I think Tyrese Haliburton is in a perfect situation. He's in a market where, Pacers are a good team. They're going to be in contentionship moving forward, in my opinion. And they're not like a main media where he has to be like that guy. He's kind of like Jokic. Not comparing him to Jokic, people, but...
I was about to say, you're about to have people after you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not comparing him to Jokic, but all I'm saying is he doesn't need the spotlight. He doesn't want the spotlight. He's kind of in the back. When you hear about him, you hear about him. Might not be positive, but it's not like he's on the main headline of everything. He's kind of more behind the scenes, but when he does pop up, yes. I wouldn't use the word cringe still, but...
Bigger star in the state of Indiana, Tyrese Haliburton or Caitlin Clark?
Oh, respectfully, I'm gonna go with
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's close.
Yeah, shout out Tyrese Haliburton. You're on your way, but I can't deny Caitlin Clark, I think, sold out every home game last year.
She sold out preseason, cuz.
Yeah. Like Pacers, I'm pretty sure y'all selling out home. Y'all gonna sell out the home games in the playoffs. So I'm not sure every home game during the season was sold out. And she sold out that arena.
Yeah.
Not the FIFA arena. That arena.
Yeah. Man, shout out Caitlin Clark. Yeah. The Warriors, they take game 1, but unfortunately, Curry out games 2, 3, and 4. He is out for a week with that hamstring injury. Jimmy Butler, 20 and 11 and 8. They carried them, and they take game 1. I was kind of surprised because everyone's like, Anthony Edwards, clutch. Anthony, we know who the most clutch player in the league is. That's Big Body Brunson. I want to ask you, the most points scored in the fourth quarter this postseason. Do you know who number 1 is?
Number 1, it has to be either Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Haliburton.
Tyrese Haliburton is not even in the top 10.
He has like 4 game winners. Shit. So I'm gonna say Steph.
Steph
Brunson
is not in the top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah.
Not shocked. You know how I feel about Steph. Not shocked.
Most points now.
Most points. So far in the playoffs. Second round. I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell.
He is 9th with 40 points.
9th? What the fuck? 9th, Donovan Mitchell. It has to be Jokic.
Jokic is 6th with 43.
Where's Brunson? 1 or 2?
1, 86.
Okay, I knew Brunson was 1.
Number two, the gap between Brunson and number two is the Grand Canyon.
Number two, yeah, because I'm naming people and I'm thinking they're at least top 5, and I'm like, they're not even top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards is not up there.
He's third with 45.
He had one good fourth quarter. Yeah, that's it.
And Jamal Murray is second with 46, but 46 to 86. That is the gap. That's nuts. But yeah, the reason I asked that was because everybody's telling me Anthony Edwards clutch. He didn't do anything in the fourth quarter. When the team needed him at home against a team that is without Steph Curry, you were a no-show. And that's your best player in the league.
I gotta eat that. Can't deny it. One thing I could say is he did get majority of his points in the second half and the fourth quarter. I understand he couldn't pull off the victory, but he came off flat. He came out. I think he started 0 for 7 from the field. I think he had 0 in the first half, especially had 0 in the first quarter. I'm not sure he went 0 for in the first half, but it was a poor start for Anthony Edwards. And if he would have just come out a little better, not 0 for, they possibly win this game. Julius Randle started the game a little slow from the field. Michael Conley, 22 minutes. He had 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from the three-point line. I think he needs to do a little something as well. But overall, Minnesota, I'm not going to take too much from it. Yes, you should have won this game, especially if Steph didn't play the entirety of the second half. But, Jimmy Butler was nice. Buddy Hill, and I think Buddy Hill needs his flowers still. This is back-to-back games.
He's
Buddy
back.
Hill showed up and showed out. I think he went 5 from 8 from the three-point line, 7 from 19 from the field. Leading scorer with 24 points. He was just flat out special. Not just game 1, but also game 7. But, I think with the injury with Steph Curry now, it sucks. Like I said, if Steph was, let's just say 32, was now 37, I think this injury would have just kept him out maybe a game. But now, at this stage of his career, after all those ankles injuries, not surprised, and wouldn't be surprised it keeps him out for longer than a week.
Are they done? I think they're done.
I'm not going to say they're done because I'm not going to say Jimmy Butler has done more with less, but with the team around him, I wouldn't be surprised if the Butler could win the series in 6.
Yeah, in 6. I think Draymond and Jimmy Butler could do enough to win another game, especially with how good Buddy Hield has been.
If you tell me Buddy Hield's going to average, let's just say 18 points for the remainder of the series,
they'll win a game.
They got a shot.
Yeah, 100%. So, it was crazy to see them hold on and win though. And then Nuggets win game 1. Real quick on game 1, gotta give Nuggets credit. Come back and win that game. And they looked like the inexperienced young Thunder team. Mm-hmm. Chet was shaking at the line. He was shaking at the line. Like, you could visibly see he was nervous. He was not built for the moment. But in games like we saw last night, where Shea gives you 34 and 8, and he's just unguardable, where every starter was in double digits. Chet gave you 15 and 11. You had Jalen Williams, who I think Jalen Williams has very underperformed. He should be the second best player on this team, but he gave you 17, 7 and 4. Hartenstein, 14 and 8. Even Luke Dort gave you 12, and they're so deep. Like, they played everyone because they were up 40 for the most of the game. But, I like this team. This was the bounce back game that OKC needed. If they play like this, OKC in 5. But it was nice to see, Nuggets steal a game on the road. Jamal Murray, he tried to do everything. He didn't shoot the ball well at all. I would like to see Jamal Murray shoot the ball, but they winded up taking everyone out. The game was over. Russell Westbrook wound up playing most of the game. Outside of that, Christian Braun needs to score a little better. Michael Porter Jr., he was awful from the floor as well. Only person who I thought really was efficient from the floor was Joker, and he can't win the game by himself, especially against an all-time great team like OKC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dominating. Real quick, shout out to the Jokic for a dominant game 1 performance. Aaron Gordon, huge 3 to win the game. Shout out Russell Westbrook for making the right play, right time, game-winning pass assist to Aaron Gordon. Tremendous play. Game 2, I think the OKC went back to business as usual. This looked like OKC versus Utah Jazz January 17th, something like that. That was just a flat out blowout performance from the OKC Thunder. Well coached, ready to come out prepared. Like you say, Shea was just a phenomenal. The whole starting cast was great. If the if the OKC Thunder not only show up offensively like this, but play that suffocating defense like we saw in round 1 versus Memphis, that's what we kind of saw in game 2. This, like you said, this series will be over in 5. It's just we know Denver, they got that championship pedigree. I think they're gonna give them some battles, especially back in Denver. But if OKC could somehow play like they played yesterday, this series will be over in 5.
Yeah. All right, kid. It was a crazy start to the NBA.
Only one home win so far in the second round. Shock.
It's been crazy. Yeah, it's been crazy. All right, let's go to the NHL because, like I said, we'll have a guest on, Jonathan Davis of VSiN. He'll be on Monday. We'll talk a little puck. I know we usually don't talk puck until the playoffs, but I thought they've been amazing. Leafs, they take a 2-0 lead. They won last night against the Panthers, and this is a gritty, this physical series. Stars, they wind up taking game 1 on the road against Winnipeg. Dallas Stars might be the best team. Ratney, he winded up having a hat trick last night. He was phenomenal. Unfortunately, the Capitals dropped game 1. Ovechkin, he did have the goal, but outside of that, they wind up losing in overtime to Carolina. They'll play tonight. And then Edmonton, shout out Edmonton. They winded up winning. Hopefully this is Edmonton's year with Connor McDavid. They wind up taking game 1 on the road against Vegas Golden Knights as well. So got 2 games tonight. Hopefully Carolina Capitals could come back. And I don't know who I'm rooting for with the Oilers. You know what it is? I love Connor McDavid so much. I really want to see him win a Stanley Cup. I think it's good for the NHL if he's good because he's the best player in the league. And if his team winds up winning, it's just good for his legacy. It's good for the NHL, and it's good for Canada. They haven't won a cup in, I think, 25 years, 26 years.
And so it's their own sport. Think of that. Think about that.
We've been running it. Now, fair question. If it's Canadian team on Canadian team in the finals, did they really win?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You got to beat the champ. To be the champ, you got to beat the champ. You didn't beat us.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the title remains in Canada. Well,
do you want it to go to Canada, or would you rather have it in the great state of the United States of America?
I'd rather have it in America for sure.
Thank you.
But
there was only one right answer.
Yeah, but all I'm gonna say is it's been a long time coming. Wouldn't be mad at all one bit if Canada wins their first Stanley Cup this century.
That's fair. All right, let's get to the NFL. We had a little trade going on here during the week. Dallas and Pittsburgh, they winded up getting some pick swaps, and George Pickens winds up going over to the Cowboys for a 2027 6th-round pick from the Steelers in exchange for a 2026 3rd round and a 2027 5th-round pick. This is the second time in 6 months the Cowboys have traded for a wide receiver. Back in November, obviously they traded for Jonathan Mingo and a 2025 7th-round pick from the Panthers, and now they get another guy in George Pickens. So I'll say this: not good. I don't like it. I think the only winner here is maybe Dak for fantasy, but. Name me the last wide receiver to leave Tomlin and for them to thrive.
See, that's a good one.
I can't. The latest one is DeAndre Johnson. No, but he went cuckoo. He won
a Super Bowl.
Because of GOAT. But he went cuckoo.
I'm not denying he went cuckoo. I'm not denying that, Dylan. All I'm saying is he won a Super Bowl.
He is a champ. I can't take that away from him.
He won more playoff games than Mike Tomlin has.
Wow.
Since the trade.
Wow.
So the factor is a fact.
That's a fact. But the latest one, DeAndre Johnson, and I don't think that's going to end well in the Browns. Hot take, I don't think he finishes the season with the Browns. But
That's wild.
I don't think you leave a generational organization like the Pittsburgh Steelers and then you thrive. I don't think that's good for your career. And George Pickens, we talked about it all season last year. There were multiple games where he threw a fit on the sideline, where you just can't have that. And we sat here Sunday night recapping games and we said, hey, man, it wouldn't surprise us if they moved on because they don't tolerate that in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Real quick, my last sentence. Is it fair to say the Dallas is, a destination for misfits?
Yes. I'm gonna say the Dallas and Jerry Jones, like they're let's just say they're bad apples.
Yeah.
Let's just say they're bad apples because they signed some legends, and not for nothing, George Pickens. Not saying he is
not a legend,
but he has the talent to possibly become one. Let's just say that, right? We can make a case.
I think he's talented. I think he's cuckoo, but I think he's talented.
I think he's talented, though. To me, this is a win-win for both sides. The Steelers got rid of a problem, and the Cowboys got exactly what they needed. They needed somebody to complement and take the stress off CeeDee Lamb. Brandon Cooks was nice. I forgot that. I forgot, but the third string Talbert.
Oh, okay,
yeah, he was good, but those guys ain't George Pickens. Let's just be honest, people. Now with George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, I think Dak Prescott can have himself an MVP caliber season in the right situation. Though, if healthy, he can have an MVP caliber season because we know CeeDee Lamb is gonna be open, and we know George Pickens with CeeDee Lamb opposite side is gonna get a lot of one-on-one coverages. Still, I think this is a win-win for both sides. And now it depends what kind of contract they give him because we know George Pickens is looking to get paid, and he deserves to get paid. Still, we all know his issues of what we think of George Pickens. It has nothing to do with his talent. It has to do with his on the field, let's just say, antics. It be times when he's down the field and he's throwing hands with a DP. He just needs to mature just a little bit. And if he does mature just a little bit, I think the Cowboys hit a home run and got possibly the steal of the year. Because we all know George Pickens has the talent to be a true number one wide receiver. He's just not mature enough to be a number one wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now, I agree with that, but I don't think Dallas is that place to mature.
Two things could be true, Dill.
Yeah.
But one thing is he is getting older. He could look himself in the mirror and was like, you know what? I just got traded for a 5th and 7th round pick.
That's crazy.
You could make the case, like you said, the most class organization in the Pittsburgh Steelers. At the end of the day, he got to look himself in the mirror one day.
But will he?
I think he will.
Oh.
I'm not saying it happened already.
Would you put your money on it?
I'm not saying it happened already. I'm not saying it's going to happen next month, this week.
Yeah.
But sometime soon, I think he's going to look himself in the mirror and say, you know what? I just got traded for peanuts. I'm going to make them pay. I'm with Dak, the best quarterback I had so far in my career. That's a fact. I'm going to be playing with somebody that's even more talented to me first time in my career. That's a fact.
But do you trust Scotty? Do you trust Schottenheimer? I don't.
He's going to have to prove that deal, but we got to look at the situation he's in.
I think he was in a better situation in Pittsburgh.
But for right now, he's going to be the number 2 option.
That's a
fact.
Number
1.
Yeah.
He's going to have way more one-on-one coverages. He's going to have a better quarterback to throw him the ball.
My question to you is, though, when he is on one-on-one coverage, because I agree, he's going to have a lot of one-on-one coverage because everything's focused on CD. They're going to have over-the-man top covering him as well. What happens when Dak doesn't throw him the ball? Is he going to put his hands up? Is he on a run block, on a sweep? Is he going to block?
That's what we're going to have to see, Dill. That's what I said.
Yeah.
If George Pickens just matured just a tad, not a lot, just a tad, and he takes that next step of manhood and maturity, I think the Cowboys just got the steal of the year.
We're both betting men. If you were to bet your hard-earned money, just let's say $100, do you bet he matures this year?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
But-
that was my question.
But
Let's move on.
I have hope. I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna say I'll take
That's
it
fair.
at plus 160.
Oh, okay.
Plus 180. I'll do
Okay,
it.
you got to get the VIT.
I'm not getting minus one. I'm not taking that.
You're not laying points.
Yeah, I'm not laying it. I need plus money on it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, kid. Before we get to these plays, quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf or an elderberry watching the NBA Finals, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with our Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Only one game on tonight. We got 2 games tomorrow on Friday, and then 1 game on Saturday. Or I think there's 2 games, but it depends on what the time. But the Knicks, real quick, the Knicks Celtics game should be a fucking. First of all, the spread is 5.5. That's my first reaction on that. And then second, why isn't it the late game? I mean, the Garden's going to be rocking. 3:30 on a Saturday? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Anyway, Rockets. Warriors on the road taking on Minnesota for game 2. Minnesota laying double digits here. No Steph Curry. He is out games 2, 3, and 4. Plus 384 Warriors. Total is at 201. Very low total here. What do we like here, kid?
You know, Jimmy Butler is a former Minnesota Timberwolves. We know he departed from Minnesota in a bad way. He had a fight with the team during practice. He said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but if you want to search it up." Jimmy Butler has a chance to stab every single Minnesota fan in the heart, stab the front office in the heart, to stab that coaching staff in the heart. I give him a shot. Give me Golden State. I'm going to take the plus. You know what? I'm going to lean the plus 10.5. Give me Jimmy Butler over 24.5. If Jimmy Butler, here to hear first, people, if Jimmy Butler gives you a 35-point triple-double, Warriors are winning this game. Yeah. If we see playoff Jimmy like we saw in Miami during that playoff run in the bubble when he was averaging 35, 12, and 10 with no haircut, drinking some coffee, I'm telling you right now, Minnesota's in trouble. So you better hope playoff Hemi, not Jimmy, playoff Hemi doesn't show up and do damage still. Because I'm letting you know right now, if he has a 35-point triple-double, the Pacers, the Knicks won't be the only road team up 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not going to have a play on this side. I don't know. Curry being out, I think, really hurts this team. It really hurts this offense. And whether that means Buddy Hield and all the other guys going to the rim or not, looking or maybe taking some short-range shots, I'm going to go player prop. Give me Rudy Gobert over 1.5 blocks. You could get that at plus 130. I think Rudy Gobert is going to have a shot blocking spree tonight and in the series with Steph Curry being out. He had 3 blocks in game 1. He also had 2 blocks in game 5 against the Lakers. He's very capable of having multi-block games. In fact, you know, we had 2 of them against the Warriors during the regular season. He had at least 2 blocks in 3 of the 5 games he played against Golden State this year. So at plus 130, I think the value is with Rudy Gobert having over 2 blocks at plus 130. So that's kind of how I would play the game. If anything, I do think Minnesota I think they open up a can of whoop ass. I think they really put it on them. I maybe would take the first half minus 6.5.
It's a must-win game, though.
Yeah. Must win or can't lose?
Must win.
Must win.
'Cause
Okay.
you know why? Because I don't expect Golden State to win the game. That's why I say I lean the plus 10.5. But I do expect Jimmy Butler to show up and possibly put some
Yeah.
foots in asses.
Let's go to Saturday, or let's go to Friday. Excuse me. Pacers looking to go up 3 home, coming back home now, and they're underdogs still. -2.5 for the Cavaliers on the road. Total is at 229.5. Plus 28 if you're feeling with the Pacers home dogs. What do we like here, kid?
I kind of like Donovan Mitchell over 29.5 points. We've seen Donovan Mitchell in back-to-back games get up 30-plus shot attempts still. That's what I'm going to go. Down 0-2, they're going to need their superstar to be great. Give me Donovan Mitchell over 29.5 points. Don't get me wrong. If Evan Mobley and Darius Garland is there, I'm not sure if Darius is going to go, but it's saying Evan Mobley most likely a go. If they there, I like their chances on the road. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a tough task down 0-2. Kind of like the Pacers to win the series as of right now. But if you're telling me Darius is back, Evan Mobley's back, Hunter is back, everybody's healthy and playing, and Donovan Mitchell is doing Donovan Mitchell's things, Cleveland is live, people. Give me Donovan Mitchell over 29.5. We just saw him have damn near a 50-piece last night, people. Give me his over, and I kind of, if like I said, Darius and Evan Mobley's in the starting lineup, I'll take the Cleveland Cavaliers on the money line at -139.
Game 3 for the Nuggets and the Thunder. Thunder laying 5 on the road, -195 on the money line, +170 for the Nuggets. Totals, highest total on the board for the weekend, 233.5. Guess we got to go over here, right? I mean, Nuggets can't play defense against this offense.
Yeah, they cannot play defense against them, Dale, and that's what worries me. If they could show up defensively, Denver has no shot. They can't run with this young team. Game 1, we saw, Denver was able to win because Jokic had 47 points, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically asking Jokic to give you 40 plus in the supporting cast to show up as well. I hate to do it, but give me the OKC Thunder -4.5 at -112. You could get the -5 by all means. Wouldn't be surprised they win by double digits.
All right, and then Saturday, excuse me. Like I said, at 3:30, the Knicks hosting the Celtics. Celtics laying 5.5 here on the road, +189 for the Knicks. Total is at 2.5. Give me a full unit on the +5.5. I'll take that half a unit on the money line, +189. I mean, they laid double digits both times, right? They're up 20 points both times, and they lost both games. Now we're catching 5.5 at home.
I told you they're a better road.
It doesn't matter. The Knicks are the better team. Give me the Knicks. And I like OG Anunoby. He's been actually balling over 2.5 threes. I like him as well. And Jalen Brunson, fourth quarter points. It doesn't matter what it is.
It doesn't matter what it is. I love it. Dale, I think we're gonna see the Boston Celtics come out with some urgency. Dale,
they did it in game 2.
They did.
Didn't matter.
Didn't matter. I think it will matter just a tad. Give me the Boston Celtics first quarter -1.5, -138. They must win this first quarter. They need to jump out to a lead, take control of the game. I don't trust anything after that. Give me the Celtics first quarter -1.5, -138. And I hate to say it, might have to take the Knicks +5.5 game total, but I'm going to go with my gut. Celtics -1.5 first quarter.
I would also wait. If you are on the Knicks will probably get down 10-15 and you could get a better
No, you
number.
can lock it in. They will be down 10-15.
Yeah.
The Celtics are going to make threes. It's just when are they going to start missing?
But in the fourth quarter, it all comes to an end. Every game it's happened. So we'll see. Should be a really good game. I'm going to be locked in.
From a basketball fan to a Knicks fan, the Celtics are a better road team than home team. That's all I'm going to say.
Are you happy for my success?
Absolutely. I'm happy.
Thank
you know
you.
why? Because I work in New York City. You know how many Knicks fans I saw
I saw them all out today.
Yeah, they have their jackets.
I was beeping the horn, and I rolled the window down. I said, go New York, go New York.
So, driving down 7th Ave, driving up 5th, driving up 6th, driving down 5th, you see it. It's definitely exciting, especially when you go by the Garden. Absolutely. But Do I care much? No. But am I happy for you guys?
I think it's
Absolutely.
fair to say the Knicks being good is good for the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. Me at the end, there's a little more traffic than I like to deal with. It's okay. It's okay. But realistically, I can't deny how exciting the Garden is
That's fact.
during playoff basketball. Win or lose,
Yeah.
the Garden's going to be packed out, and it's going to be it's either going to be some boring booing or cheering, but it's going to be electric in the building.
Let's hit the ice. 2 games here tonight on Thursday, and we got 2 games on Friday as well. Just rattle them off. I'm going to take the Caps here to bounce back, plus 148 at home. I do think they're the better team. I think they were a little they look like they were asleep at the wheel game 1. I think they'll bounce back strong here. I think they're the more physical team. Carolina is the faster team, but I think the physicality will slow them down a little bit. I'm going to take the Capitals here, plus 148. Edmonton, Vegas. I think Vegas has to come back here and tie this. They can't lose both games at home and then go to Edmonton. The series will be over at that point. So minus 130. I do like Vegas here to tie up the series. I think this is a must win or a can't. I think it's both for the Florida Panthers. Coming back home, you lost 2 games in first game, you got blown out. Second game last night, very winnable. I thought they could have won that game. They wind up losing 4-3. They got to win. They're minus 220 here at home. Maybe first period over 1.5 goals. I like that. Florida to score the first goal. I think you could get that at plus money as well. Also, a trend in the NHL. In the first period, if it's 0-0, the second period over 1.5 goals is 7-3. So if it's 0-0 after 1, they will come out and start scoring some goals. So I've been taking that, and that's a trend that I've been following a little bit. So I think that has been very profitable. And I'm going to take Dallas Stars here. I just think they're the best team in the NHL left, and getting plus 102, they were clear the better team, even though they got a hat trick from one guy. They're just so deep right now, and I think they're better than Winnipeg. So I'll take the plus 102 here with the Dallas Stars. Any NHL plays for you, kid, or no?
No, Dill. The only thing I will honestly lean, I think we got to take a shot at the Capitals live at plus 140. Can't go down 2-0 at home, and they got to go on the road down 0-2. Can't afford that, people. So my favorite words in playoffs, must-win game. I think for the Caps is a must-win game, plus 140.
All right, kid. Let's go to the Diamond. We already got some games going off. Twins, Orioles, they're tied 2-2. Your Red Sox up 3-0, bottom 5. Got a doubleheader. I don't really like betting doubleheaders, especially against a bad team like Colorado. So that's a stay away game for me. Like Phillies, I think Jesus Luzardo's actually been really fucking good on the road. Tampa Bay can't really hit lefties as well. So I do like the Phillies. I think the value is with the Reds. I mean, plus 180 with Nick Lodolo, who's been so much better than Spencer Swallenbach, who's kind of been up and down. Plus 180. I know they've lost 4 in a row, but the Reds are, I think, a little better of a team, or at least they have the better pitcher. So I'm going to take the Reds, though. Plus, the value is with them. I want nothing to do with Blue Jays, Angels. Yamamoto. I mean, I don't know if you've been watching this guy or see his numbers. He's been the best pitcher in baseball, and I don't even think it's close. You're getting plus 105 on the run line. I like the first 5 minus a half a run. You could get that at minus 110. Brandon Pfaadt's been good, but he hasn't faced a Dodger team. Teoscar Hernandez has been hurt, but he's out indefinitely. But this Dodger team is really good. Brandon Pfaadt just got smacked his last game against the Phillies. Now has to go in first the Dodgers here at home. I think this could be a bad spot for him. So, yeah, Yamamoto, he's the Cy Young winner right now. A month in, he's the best pitcher in baseball, and I don't think it's particularly close. So, yeah, I like the Dodgers here, either on the run line or in the first 5. Anything in baseball for you, kid?
Yeah, it was a few early games. I would have probably took my Red Sox early on. The only thing I honestly liked that I had my eye is what you just touched on. Yamamoto against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Remember, Diamondbacks, pretty good team, but we can't deny how great Yamamoto's been looking so far in his second season. I think I'm minus 154 to get the Dodgers. I might have to take it, people. Give me the Dodgers on the road, -154 on the money line.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze, and we're not afraid to lay the juice. Okay, let's go to the gridiron. Week 7 is upon us, and we got some pretty good games here. And credit the UFL sticking with their one game on Friday. I respect that. I will say that every week. I love that. And we'll start in San Antonio. The Brahmas taking on the DC Defenders. Defenders laying 7.5 here. On the road, total is at 37. It's the lowest total on the board for the weekend. How are we feeling here Friday night?
First of all, the Brahmas last week fucked me.
Yeah.
Might be done with the Brahmas deal. So I do like DC here. I'm not sure if I'm going to lay the big number. We saw DC was on DC last weekend as well. So what's the number you have?
I have 7.5.
Yeah, I saw 6.5 earlier.
Shop around.
Shop around, people. I will lay the 6.5. I will stay away from 7.5. So I gotta look what number I could get. It might just be a total stay away from me. I don't trust. First of all, Brahmas ain't good. Gotta stop relying on Brahmas. But can we trust DC on the road now? I'm not sure. So
I think we can.
I'm gonna just stay away. I like DC, but I'm gonna just stay away.
I think we can. We cannot trust. We gotta stop, and me including. I get with these big numbers sometimes. I'm like, hey, San Antonio could cover that. And they can't. They stink. They're averaging 11 points a game. I mean, they stink. I think the total's spot on. I wouldn't touch the total, but I made the game 9 points. So I'm getting 2.5 here. I would lay it here with the Brahmas. I think they're just a much better team. Defense worries me a little bit, but the offense for the Brahmas is not good. I think we see like a 24-11, 24-12 type game. Maybe they win by 10, 11 points. So yeah, I'll lay the points here with DC. I think they're the much better team. Biggest game or the closest one on the books, Saturday, 1:00 here on the East Coast. Arlington hosting the Michigan Panthers. Panthers laying 3, total 42.5. It is the highest total on the board here. Again, I think the total is spot on, kid. But I cashed with Michigan last week. And to be honest, I think they're the better team. We've cashed with Arlington as an underdog, and both teams are 3-3 ATS on the year. But I think the defense for the Panthers is going to hold up here. I wish we got 2.5 because I feel like the number's spot on. I see like a 23-20 game. Hopefully it's 23-17, but I would lay the points. I'm not going to touch the game, but I would lay it as opposed to taking it.
I'm going to lay it. Give me Michigan here, Dill. Give me the -3 on the road. Don't get me wrong. Arlington, okay. You know, we respect Arlington here, but I think I'm going to go with you, Dill. I think Michigan right now, I said it early on the first couple of weeks of the season, they fell off. Michigan and Seattle. Especially, I like Seattle early on, but right now, as of late, I think Michigan is emerging. I'll give them a shot to not just win this weekend, Dill, but I think give them a shot to win it all. Give me Michigan -3 on the road versus a decent, honestly, pretty good Arlington team.
All right, let's go to Sunday, 12:00 here on the East Coast. Houston Roughnecks on the road taking on the Birmingham Stallions. Stallions laying 5.5 here. Total is at 39. Both games on Sundays, total is at 39. I would take the over. I think Stallions are going to be able to score, and I would lay it here with the Stallions. I got fooled by the Roughnecks last week. I got fooled because they're 4-2 ATS. But not here, not on the road against the Stallion team, who I think is starting to figure some things out a little bit. I trust this offense a little more. It's going to be a nice, beautiful 82-degree weather here in Alabama on Sunday. I'll take the Stallions here, and I do like the over.
Give me the -6 with the Birmingham Stallions. I think we both were fooled. I think it wasn't just us. I think thousands of us got fooled by the Roughnecks still. Let's go back to old reliable. Give me the Houston. I think the Birmingham Stallions. I think this is the first time all year I'm laying.
He almost said Houston.
Yeah, I'm laying it here with the Stallions.
All right, and the last game we'll go to Memphis, and I think another bad team, but they're hosting the St. Louis Battlehawks. Battlehawks laying 4. Total is, like I said, 39. Honestly, kid, this one was pretty easy. I'm gonna lay it here with the Battlehawks. I can't. Showboats are terrible. 1-5. Yeah, they're 3-3 ATS, but they allowed 22 points per game. Battlehawks averaging around 22, 23 points per game. I think a 24-15, 24-16 type of game. I think Showboats will be competitive early on, but then once the second half comes, I think Battlehawks will kind of clear the road and kind of stretch this one out. I'll lay the points here with the Battlehawks.
I'm going to lay it as well. Give me the -4 with St. Louis. Like I said earlier, St. Louis and Michigan, those two are my favorite teams right now. That's who I like the most. I'm going to lay with both of them. Give me St. Louis -4 on the road versus the Memphis Showboats.
All right, kid. That's going to do it. Great week for Villanova. I mean, I hope it continues. I hope you're rooting for me. I mean, I don't ask God for a lot, but I just want the Knicks to beat the Celtics. That's all I want. Big show on Monday. We got a guest coming on previewing the NHL playoffs. And by the way, I know we won with Sovereignty, but fuck Sovereignty. I mean, he's not competing in the Preakness now. Now there's no way of him winning the Triple Crown. I know it's a short turnaround, but that's the whole point. We want him to do it.
You're going to compete.
You got to compete, right?
You got to show you're the best. It wasn't just a fluke.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to. Test them.
Test them. That's wild.
Any last words, kid? Doing any big plans this week?
No. Real quick, shout out to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day this Sunday. So everybody out there listening, if that parlay cashes, take your mama out.
Yes.
To a nice dinner or brunch or somewhere.
Or your baby mom.
I don't have a kid.
No, not you. Or people listening.
Yeah. Shout out to no. Fuck that. Shout out to all the good baby moms.
Yes, because there are bad baby mamas.
There are bad baby moms. So now all the good baby mothers out there doing your thing, taking care of your kids, because they're good. I see you. You're doing a great job.
I see you.
You're doing a great job. I know nobody has told you in a while, but you're doing a
great job. Yeah.
So keep it up.
And if he lied and said football was over, football's not over. Football's never over. We got spring. We got spring training around the corner. And if he hits this bet Sunday, he will take you out.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. I know you're putting $100 on that parlay. You could parlay the UFL.
So think about it. You all the ladies out there, all the mothers, pray for your significant other's parlay to hit.
Exactly.
Be a great Sunday.
You're gonna have a great Sunday. Drop the kids off at the in-laws. Have yourself a day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. All the good mothers out there. But kid, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.